What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Welcome back to another season of Growing Up Hip Hop, season 6, episode 21. So I guess this is a part 2 of the last season. Y'all know, we left off. I don't know. So the way it's in my DVR, it says season 6, episode 21. So I don't know if it's season 7, episode 1, whatever. But we back. Listen, this show is slowly becoming Pep family because every season we get another family member added. So now we have Tretch's wife. She's now on the show. I don't know if she's gonna be on the show regularly, but child, she had a whole 3-4 scenes in this episode. So I don't know. It is slowly becoming the Pep show because I feel like every season we add another family member from her family. Okay, we know she's in the EP, but dag on, child. Anyway, so the major part of this episode is just bringing us up to date on what's going on with everybody. So let me give y'all the small stories first, and then we're gonna build up to this big storyline. So Lil Twist, and when I say small story, I just mean they didn't spend a lot of time on it. So Lil Twist got into some legal trouble, I guess, while we weren't filming. Seems like he went down to Texas to visit his mom, and he got caught with a gun. Which he gonna say, well, the gun is legal in Texas, it's a carry state, but Mac Main, who, super producer, he was talking to him, he was like, not if you a felon. Like, stop playing games with me. Like, okay, it's legal if you follow whatever the parameters are in that state to carry a weapon, but it is not legal if you're a felon. Pretty much everywhere. So now, he said that his, attorney is trying to talk to the judge to see if he can get a lighter sentence. But basically, he's pretty much now at the mercy of the court and what they decide to do. Are they going to make an example out of him? Are they going to throw the book at him? Because let's be clear, he has a record. It's not like he's first time offender type. Well, he's a felon. I just said that. So, Mac is trying to talk to him and trying to let him know, like, this is serious. Like, you playing games. You need to really make a decision on which way you want your life to go and how you want this to happen, because it's not a joke. It's not a game. And I think you still pretending or playing like this is, he said, your dad is a lifelong, visitor of the state. Is that what you want for your life? You want to be in jail for the rest of your life? Like, you want to follow in his footsteps? So I thought that was a really good conversation because he did not sugarcoat it. He didn't bullshit him, and he didn't, try to, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? He didn't try to make nice with him, right? He didn't try to make nice. Next we got JoJo and Thais, his wife. They had the baby. They had baby Joey, and that's beautiful. And then they were having a conversation about him doing more around the house and him picking up the slack because, she was like, I don't want to repeat what happened with our daughter. And he was like, what you mean what happened with our daughter? Because I was there. You was going to work every day and I was playing Mr. Mom. What you talking about? She was like, yeah, for the first year. And then things changed, and I just need you to be consistent. So then he got mad and told the cameras, I need y'all to back up because I'm trying to have a conversation with my wife. And of course they didn't, and we could still hear the conversation. And he was like, don't be getting on camera making me look bad. You know that what it is when the camera's not rolling. Don't wait till the cameras are rolling to have a problem. And I was like, see, that's the shit that I don't like. Because y'all know y'all are filming the show. You know that y'all are having these conversations. You know you're building a storyline. And he was like, well, I don't want people thinking that I ain't out here helping take care of my child. At no point in time did she say you wasn't taking care of your child. She just said that I need you to give what I'm giving. Anyway, I feel like that's the same complaint every woman has with a man, because a man will never, ever, ever, ever understand it. And there are certain things that a man can't do when it comes to the child. There's certain things, So anyway, it is what it is. So that was that. So then Angela comes over. Vanessa eventually makes it over there. And, they, oh, yeah, oh, the baby, oh, the baby, oh, the baby, oh, So that's kind of what that was. Now we see Angela, Vanessa, Cree. Who was with them? Angela, Vanessa, Cree, and I forgot. Somebody else was with them. They out on the boat down in Miami, living their best life, living it up. Or I guess they was in Miami. I don't know anymore where they are, but I think they were in Miami. And Angela lets them know that she's moving to Atlanta. And she said that her son has a better support system because that's where her son's family is from, and that he's getting older now, and she wants him to build a relationship with, she wants him connected to his father's side of the family, and there are just a lot of people there that, could be a support system for her. We know that there were rumors about her filming for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I guess that's where those rumors came from, because I guess she moved to Atlanta and she's been hanging out in the Atlanta streets. But let me say this. Something she did later on in this episode is the reason why she would never be successful on a show like Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because there was a situation and it was starting to get a little catty. And she was like, see, I don't do the drama. I don't do the drama. Y'all know I don't do that. Let me leave. And she got up and she removed herself. Girl, you know that don't fly in Atlanta. Like, that would not fly on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And see, you get away with that on Growing Up Hip Hop because you're an EP. You ain't gonna get away with that on Real Housewives of Atlanta. You are gonna have to make a decision about that. Don't mean you have to be in all the drama. That don't mean you have, but you just getting up and walking away every time there's drama. Girl, no. Anyway, it's bad enough you don't tell nobody none of your story. Like, you don't tell none of your business. But for you not to tell none of your business and not be in the, girl, no. Anyway, moving on. So, so that was that. Now, Vanessa, being her normal Vanessa self, is in her feelings because she said you didn't talk to her about it. Girl, don't nobody have to talk to you about their life. Like, I get it that that's your sister, but Angela's a grown-ass woman with a whole baby. She does not have to consult with you, get your approval, or really even run anything by you about what she's choosing to do in her life. She said, well, mommy and daddy know. So the fact that your parents knew and you didn't, this is what I need Vanessa to understand. Here's the reality. All siblings ain't best friends. All siblings ain't best friends. And clearly, Vanessa loves you like a sister and all of that. But clearly, Vanessa don't see you as a best friend. That's just how I feel about it. Vanessa doesn't see you as a best friend. I mean, Angela doesn't see you as one of her confidants, one of her close friends. She tells you, but you are not the person she calls to get advice from. You are not the person she calls to say, hey, what do you think about this? Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think I should do this? You're not that person for her. And guess what? It's okay. That doesn't mean she loves you any less as her sister, but I'm going to need you to stop whining every time every time something happens with Vanessa or JoJo, for that matter, that you didn't know about. Because that's not y'all's relationship. Okay? It isn't. And I'm going to need you to not be on a boat while everybody else got on a bikini and your ass got on pajamas. Because she sure looked like she had them pink silk pajamas from the TLC video, from the Creep video back in the day, or the Red Light District video, whatever, the back of the day. Like, I'm going to need you. I get it that you may still not be comfortable in your body, but girl, wear a cover up, wear a muumuu, something. But you was sitting up in there with some long sleeves, long pants. Girl, you would looked out of place. Everybody else in their bikinis. You looked out of place, girl. Anyway. So, is it all of the auxiliary stories, child? I feel like that's all the auxiliary stories. Let's get to this main event. And I'll double back if it's more I need to share. So, well, I'll finish this one too. So while they decided they were gonna have a girls' night out, and they invited, because they all in New York now, right? So it's Cree, it's TT, Vanessa, Angela. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, and Tanise, JoJo's wife, Tanise. So they all decide that they are going to, they're going to have a girls' night out, and they're there having a good time. Everybody's dressed up. Cree rolls in, and immediately Cree decides that she needs to have a conversation with TT about some shit that happened last season. She felt like TT came for her, and TT was rude, and TT put a false narrative out there about how she conducts her business. And that was where Angela was like, yeah, I don't have nothing to do with this. I don't do the drama. I just came out here to have a drink with my girls and have a girls' night out. I ain't trying to do all of that. Y'all figure it out, and I'm done. She walks away. Tanise walks away. So it leaves Vanessa, TT, and Cree. Now, Cree was saying how, it's 3 things I don't mess with. I don't mess with my money, my man, my whatever. She was like, and you messing with my money because, you putting it out there that for somehow I am, like I'm not a professional, that I can't do your wedding, which I'm fine with not doing your wedding. I don't care about doing your wedding, but you put it out there like, I was unprofessional or something in reference to some of the things that I said. And I just think that you're a bully. I just think you bullied Sam and Egypt. What? First of all, where did that even come from? Where did the bullying thing even come from? What do you mean I bully Sam and Egypt? What are you talking about? So she was just like, well, I just feel like you bully Sam and Egypt. Girl, ain't nobody bullying Sam and Egypt. Like, what are you talking about? So she was like, what do you mean? She was like, TT was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I just responded to some things that were said about me. So I don't really know what you're talking about. Like, TT was so, like, what are you talking about? Now, I could see where she's coming from, where TT saying she can't do my wedding because she felt like that you were in cahoots or you were connected or whatever to the whole Sam situation and Egypt situation. Like, I could get that point of view. That I understand. But then the part about the bullying is where it went left for me, because I don't even understand the whole bully thing. Like, I don't understand what you mean by that. I don't understand where that's coming from. Like, what is the whole bully thing? I don't. Anyway, that was weird for me. That was weird. So TT was like, she was like, well, I just thought, it would be fake of me to come in here and not address it because I'm not a fake bitch. TT was like, yeah, but you could have just as easily addressed it. You could have called me. Like, you waited till we were on camera. So, yeah. Now who's fake? Like, like, kind of like, girl, like, if this was a real situation, you would have called me. You wouldn't have waited till we were filming. So then, so Cree ends up walking off, and that's the end of that child, I guess. I don't know. Lazy Bone, I guess, is on the cast this season. We see Lazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, filming a scene with Tretch. They just talking about the churn and life and child, whatever. I guess that was just his intro scene to try to bring him onto the show, okay? So here's the big storyline. For me, it was. To me, this was I feel like it's going to be a major part of this season. So Sam got arrested. And what it seems like is that Sam got involved in some sort of brawl one night. He got arrested. Now, Egypt was with him, and there were some guns involved. So Tretch meets up with Tyran, and Tyran tells the story that way. Say, listen, I guess they were heckling Sam. Sam got into a fight. It turned into like a jump situation where they were kind of brawling. Egypt got into it, I guess, to either try to break it up or defend Sam. Sam ended up getting arrested. Now, here's what I know. And I'm not saying that this is always the case, y'all, so don't get in my comments and say it don't happen that way. But here's what I know. Generally, when there's a fight and the police don't know who started it, the person that looks the least beat up is the one that stays, and the person that looked like they were the aggressor is the one that gets arrested. Either both of them get arrested, or they take the person that looks like they were the aggressor. So the fact that Sam was the one that got arrested, and the fact that he's the one that's got charges, makes me feel like the police, after talking to both parties and talking to everybody there, the police feel like Sam was the aggressor. That's just how I feel about it. Now, we know that we've seen Sam defend, explain, make things seem like that we don't see what we really see. The other part that's the problem is Sam has now delved into MMA fighting. Well, that takes things to another level, because now your fist can be considered lethal weapons because you are a professional. Even though you're an amateur MMA fighter, it takes it to a different level. That's just like a boxer getting into a street brawl. It takes it to a different level. You were trained to do this, So I don't know all the ins and outs because I ain't looked at the police report, but just based on what they saying, it don't sound like Sam was just sitting around la-da-da-da-da minding his business and ain't nothing happened. Well, Tretch is pissed off because Tretch is like, first of all, I'm pissed off because I have been supportive of Sam this whole time, but something ain't right. Like this, he said, first of all, ain't nobody called me. We found out later on that Egypt called his wife to tell his wife, basically it was like, tell daddy, because I don't want to talk to him, which again makes me feel like y'all got something to hide, because why not? If y'all didn't do anything wrong, he been supporting y'all in this bullshit. So Tretch is like, listen, I don't appreciate the fact that I'm not in it. I don't appreciate the fact that nobody's telling me what's going on. Like, Sam is playing games, and at the end of the day, like, he said, y'all are black in America, and the police don't really need a better excuse than that. I said, well. So he meets up with Egypt later on in the episode, and Egypt, of course, does what she always does and tries to make it out that Sam was innocent. They were just picking on him. We didn't do anything wrong. She said we were out on the strip. We had been drinking. We realized we had too much to drink, so we was calling an Uber. He said, see, now it's all making sense. Y'all were drunk, which that does take it to another level if there's alcohol. She said, well, the people were heckling him from the show, and they were just kind of heckling him. That's number 3. They were heckling him. He responded. Because here's the thing. You don't have to respond. Then she said, well, they were surrounding him, and that's where it got aggressive. And Tretch was like, yeah, see, that's all I need to know. So basically, she said enough so that Tretch knows that Tyron's side of the story is probably the accurate story. But then his wife was like, but that ain't what you told me. Like, now these stories ain't the same. So, of course, Egypt is sitting there looking stupid. Like, well, because the more she talked, the more she added to the story. And the more pissed off you can physically see Tretch getting, right? You can physically see him getting pissed off. And so the more she talked, the more pissed off he seems to be getting, okay? I am just like, my, okay? That's pretty much where this episode ended. But I feel like that's going to be the big storyline with Sam in this arrest situation, because it don't really seem like, I don't know, we'll see how the rest of this goes. But that's the first episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.